Hello there, Sagittarius. Really great to see you again this month, especially because as I've been looking at each sign, I've noticed that there has been a breakthrough moment, something where you can really utilize the energy to either let go of something or bring something into creation. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that pans out for you. However, first I would like to simply remind everybody that you can use this for your sun, your rising, as well as your moon sign. You can also watch it on behalf of someone that you care about in your life. And by the way, don't worry if you don't happen to know your sun, rising, or moon. Just stick with your birth sign, and that'll give you more than enough information for the month ahead. For everybody that is a return viewer, I'd like to give you a nice virtual hug and say welcome back. I really do appreciate your presence here and the work that you're doing on yourself. That's what makes it worth my while every month, and I hope that you've been enjoying what I've been doing as well. If you're brand new, I'd like to give you a nice warm welcome and introduce myself. My name is Ashbaugh, and this is how I organize the readings each and every month. I start off with channeled information where I just use my raw intuition. Then I move along to a Celtic cross to look at the highs and the lows, the blessings and the blocks for the month ahead. And then I expand it to look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. If you like what you see here, remember that it's all viewer supported and you can make a difference by sticking around until the end, at which point I'll tell you how to give back. I'm going to highlight that quickly here before we get started. That can include liking and subscribing or joining on social media, booking an appointment if you're interested, or you can become a patron and give back. Again, I'll give more information at the end, but I know you're interested in the forecast for this month, so without any additional delay, let's get straight into your channeled information. This month, as I was selecting a deck of cards and meditating over your sign, I had a couple of images that came through. The first one was of you reaching up higher than you thought you could and kind of like punching through or popping through some sort of imaginary ceiling, whether it was a glass ceiling or coming out of sort of a boxed-in way of thinking. That was the first thing. So don't limit your thoughts and don't limit your ability to reach for something that you may think is somehow quote unquote out of your reach. I think it's actually attainable. And the second thing was I felt a big unlocking coming through the heart center. I feel that some of you have been either protecting or maybe closing off this part of your life because you've been focusing on other people, other things, or just like I was feeling that there might have been a box or some sort of boundary around some of you, I think that there could have been limiting thoughts either imposed upon you by family or culture or even self-imposed where you thought something wasn't possible that you wanted to do or wanted to create, or maybe even in a relationship that you wanted to experience. This month is about unshackling. It's about removing those imaginary and sort of constructed bonds that have been set around you. And this will be part of the big shift for you, is kind of going into your mind and hitting Control-Alt-Delete and thinking, I'm going to reboot, reset, and recreate what's possible for me. So that's phase one in your breakthrough, which is there have been some limiting thoughts, or there may be something that comes through this month that is testing your possibilities. And what you want to do is not push away something because of fear, because of doubt, because you are afraid perhaps even of succeeding and standing out. So as we look at the cards this month, I'm going to be looking for how high you can reach, if there's some sort of a barrier that you're going to be able to overcome, if there was some sort of box that has been drawn around you by the environment, and then also what could come through that could open up your heart space. That's a perfect segue into getting into the Celtic cross. So at this point, I'm going to turn the camera down, remain quiet, and pull the full cross. And don't worry, because right afterwards, I will take each and every card one by one and relate it to all of the information and opportunities that will be in front of you for the month ahead. In your Catalyst position, we have the Otter card in reverse. I tend to love the otters because they are very playful, very curious, and very adaptable creatures. And when you see this card, it's showing you that you have all of those qualities. You have the ability to have fun, adapt to any sort of environment, and really make the most of whatever comes your way. The reversal of this is just telling you not to hold back. And this month, if something difficult comes along, if you could look at it from the lens of this is a challenge or an opportunity, rather than why is this happening to me, or here we go again. It's always better to just think, well, let's see if I can think my way around this, and kind of use it as a playful challenge to yourself. I think that's going to be really effective. So channel the energy of an otter, which can live almost anywhere on land or in the water, which has fun, which is curious. And yeah, Google otter videos sometime and you'll laugh, because they have some very playful videos online. So try to have that same energy where life is not going to feel or look so difficult this month. By the way, if you're new, the Catalyst card functions as a key, which allows you to unlock the potential for the month ahead. So periodically, I'm going to go back to that, as well as the channeled information, because those are two lenses that will bring everything into greater focus. Before getting started, I wanted to highlight 3 cards, and then I'm going to pull the camera back up. The central one is the Lovers. It's reversed, but it's crossed by the 6 of Wands, which is touching the 4 of Wands. All 3 of these cards are about people, community, and acclaim in your life. I thought it was important to see that connection before I got started and talked a little bit about Lovers reversed. Now, the good news with the Lovers is, much like the 4 of Wands, for instance, it's not really negative even if it's in a reverse state. It does show a little bit of imbalance, however, so let's talk about it in the upright position first. Usually the Lovers indicates that your energy is in a very attractive state, which means that whatever you are thinking, you can actually pull it into being. In a positive connotation, that would mean that if you're excited about something, you can get other people in that same energetic flow. They could also have enthusiasm. If you're interested in someone, that same interest could be reciprocated, particularly since we see the Lovers. The reversal of this card is showing that insecurities could also be echoed by other people. So if you think something either slightly negative or critical about yourself, other people could pick up on it, and even if they're not going to say the same thing, they could try to test that insecurity. So if you feel something like, I'm not prepared, you may be at a meeting and for some reason the boss centers in on you because, again, the attractive energy of the Lovers means that you're in the spotlight no matter what, and instead of thinking, oh yeah, they have it under control, they're going to pick up on the frequency of, uh-oh, they don't know what they're thinking, and they're going to ask you. And so I want you to kind of, it's a little bit of a Jedi mind trick with this. You need to start to believe in the positive and push it out there, even if you're having a hard time integrating with that. And to be honest, if you are having a hard time integrating with it, get to the core of that. What is causing it? Is it because of, as I saw with the channeled information, someone in your life put a box around you, metaphorically, saying that you can't do this, or that's out of reach, or this isn't what you should be? If that's the case, tear the box down. That's what I was seeing, or push through that lid and think, you know what, I am who I am, and that's okay. And you'll start to then feel better about being honest, about being integrated, and those self-doubt feelings will start to go away. So there needs to be a little bit of work on loving yourself, integrating with your heart's desires, pushing away other people's preconceived notions and or limits that they might have placed on you in the past, and creating something that feels good for you. Love who you are, love what you're doing, love where you're headed. Then the Lovers card can flip around and people can see you as an outstanding individual, like I do. And that's really the key here. I want you to work at the very beginning of the month on flipping this card upright in your head and thinking about all the things you love in your life, all the things that make you happy. And if you're trying to work on something, about how you can be an asset to a team or to a partnership or to someone else's life. This positive energy will shift it, all of these things into the positive for you. So just be very careful about your thoughts. They're going to either attract good or bad attention, okay? Now, right on top of this, the 6 of Wands. Again, there's a lot of spotlight on you this month. If you're someone who's creative and maybe like an actor, what a great month ahead for you, because the 4 of Wands and the 6 of Wands right next to each other are showing me that you should get a lot of calls for roles and opportunities. And if you're like a public speaker or a motivational speaker or even a doctor or someone that's working in the public sector, I see a lot of business, work, and interest in what you do. That's fantastic. If you're shy, this is going to be a month where those things are tested And that really makes sense because your crowning card is the Nine of Swords, which could be a sense of stress, wanting to pull back, wondering if you can manage it. You can manage it. All of this attention wouldn't be coming to you if you weren't deserving of it. This is what people haven't maybe told you before. And even if you are confident, even confident people need to occasionally hear that it's going to be okay. And that's what I see. The reason I think that is because when I look in your deep past, I see the Magician. The Magician is a card of manifestation. You need to focus your energy this month, though, because the card is reversed. And sometimes when the Magician is reversed, it can mean that you have overcommitted your time, or you've overreached in a few areas. I do want you to kind of pick one thing that you really want to go after, but if you overdo it, then yes, you will get exhausted, and yes, you will have a hard time. Limit your scope, and then on one or two things, really go all in, if that makes sense. But if you have 5 things that you're trying to finish, then it's just unattainable, and you're going to be frustrated. The other thing with the Magician reversed is if you've ever had issues with addiction, or if you've had problems even with like ADHD or something like that, this month could present some challenges because we see all of these activities around you. So take a deep breath, focus, limit scope, and delegate if you have to some of the things that are on your plate. All right, looking in the recent past, we have the Two of Wands card, and the Two of Wands is a fantastic card for being able to manifest as well. You have 2 manifestation cards that are reversed. The other homework that I'm going to give you for the second week of the month, perhaps, is to turn these 2 around, and let me tell you how you can do that. With the Magician card, you want to remember that this is all about channeling. To be a clear channel, you have to make sure that your mind, your body, and your spirit is as open and as clear as you can be. So when you're looking at what you put into your body, make sure your diet is as organic, clean, and healthy as possible this month. When you look at toxins in your life, whether it's people around you, again, things that you're eating or consuming, or drugs or alcohol, that also needs to be eliminated from the mix. Once you do that, your mind, body, and spirit is in a better place. Meditation will also help you access this raw power. By the way, whenever I see the Magician, it also shows people that are perhaps entering on a path of psychic development or even healing. So just know that once you've cleared your energy, all of those things start to come through as well. Now that your intuition is lighting up a little bit, with the Two of Wands, it's really about you staying clear on one thing that you're trying to accomplish. Again, I think that it's important for you to limit things a little bit this month so that you can do fewer things but better. And that's going to be one of the keys and maybe one of the breakthroughs for you as well. Because you can reach those heights that you're trying to accomplish, but you have to try to do one at a time this month. So with the Two of Wands, the universe has your back, but it does need to know where you're headed. And even though your guides and your higher self is constantly sort of whispering and trying to push you in the right direction, you have to see it in your third eye, in your mind's eye. And then that's really what the Two of Wands is about. You'll notice this person gazing into their future. And the other piece of this, talking about your heart, opening up your heart and trusting it, you have to feel it. You have to place that seed and that dream within your heart space. When you know without a shadow of a doubt that what you're trying to do is going to happen, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, then this gives way to the Three of Wands, which I actually see in the environment. You have all of the best wand cards this month. You have the 2, the 3, and the 4. So this is why it's really important for you to believe what you can do, to also kind of pull out any negative thoughts, because they can cloud this. They can actually become real too. I want you to focus on the high energy, reaching high, both in thoughts and in goals. And I want you to cleanse any of the lower frequencies. So weeks 1 and 2 should all be about resolving any sort of inner conflicts, reducing any sort of negative thoughts, and re-embarking or re-engaging with what your heart's desire is. I can't remember which sign got this message, but I want to convey it to you as well, because the Nine of Swords is basically a card of fear, and I would like you to take fear and replace it with faith, something that I gave to another sign this month. When we look at the Nine of Swords, a lot of times this fear comes when we are alone or at nighttime. So one thing that will help you kind of get in a better place this month is, first of all, make sure you're getting enough sleep and you're feeling rested with the amount of sleep that you have. And if something's coming through in your dreams, a lot of times the subconscious will try to kind of like knock on your door if you've been ignoring things. So if something powerful comes through in a dream, take note of it, keep a dream journal, and then start to sort through that over the course of the month. There may be something that's coming through, a fear of a relationship or money or whatever it is for you. I want you to really take it seriously and not be afraid of it, because fear can be overcome with acknowledgement, just knowing that it's there, and then facing it with some sort of information, because fear and ignorance go hand in hand. And so once you have the information to diffuse the lack of knowledge, then all that's left is to really take the knowledge and face fear and say, I'm not afraid of you, I know what to do now. As we look in the near future, we have the Four of Wands. This is telling me that you actually have a lot of good people that are going to be around you towards the middle to the end of the month. The Four of Wands is a card of community. It can be dating, it can be a long-term engagement, both a project and even love. So this can come through for marriage and proposals as well. I really like this. This is a great energy for the mid-month point. So that's why I want you to clean up all of the baggage so that around the 15th of the month and onward, you're ready for all of the exciting stuff that's coming through. This was crossed again by the Six of Wands. If there's ever been a time to announce something, this is the month. The Lovers, the Six of Wands, the Four of Wands, the Three of Wands, the Two of Wands, it's all there. You have community, you have receipt. This is the time to go out and take a risk, okay? It's also a really good month to be social and to network. So if you've been having sort of a hard time meeting people, or if you've been wanting to expand your group of friends, if you've been wanting to date somebody, this is the time to do it. Let your friends set you up, something I normally wouldn't recommend, because it looks like there's actually some great people and good connections, and so trust word of mouth this month. All right, on to some other things here. As we look at your ego, we have the Ace of Pentacles. A new job, a new opportunity, a big idea that you could capitalize on, money coming into your life, some good stuff. The other thing here when we're looking at your ego is value yourself. The way you feel about yourself, your self-worth, it will directly equal your net worth, particularly because we have that attractive energy of the Lovers, we have the manifesting energy of the Magician, we have the projecting energy of the Two of Wands, and we have the community aspects of the Six of Wands and Four of Wands. You have all of the components to really make a splash. So do it. Believe in yourself, okay? I believe in you, and I think this is one of the strongest spreads I've seen for any sign this month. So I really want you to embrace that. The only thing that may happen is you may get nervous by some of the developments that are happening this month. Someone may come into your life and you think, oh my God, I wasn't ready for that relationship, or I don't deserve this opportunity, or I didn't see this coming. Don't overthink it. I almost wrote that at the beginning too. When I got into Trust Your Heart, I thought, don't overthink it. So I don't want you to get too deep into your head space. Focus more on how it feels, and if you feel good about it, then honor that. Environment, Three of Wands. You should start to see some things happening this month if you do the requisite, or I should say prerequisite work that I'm asking you to do in weeks 1 and 2. By the middle to end of the month, you should start to see some signs of growth and sustainability and progress. That also means that if you're trying to find a job, particularly with the Ace of Pentacles there in the ego, within 2 or 3 weeks, you might get a bite on that, or you might get a good lead that is helping you get into a better place. If you're trying to negotiate some sort of an increase in your salary, this is a great month to talk about that. I know we're entering into a retrograde, but that's also a time to repair and fix things. So if this is something that hasn't been addressed before, then it's a good time for that. The other thing with the Ace of Pentacles and the Four of Wands, I see for some of you an acceptance for a proposal, whether it's a bid or a love proposal. So some really good movement overall. As we look at hopes and fears, we do have one thing that is worth pausing on, which is the Fool in reverse. This can mean an unexpected happening. It could be, for some of you, it can mean a trip, it can mean a fall. It can also mean that events are happening quicker than you expected and you're going to have to think on your feet. The Fool card is all about having to move fast, okay? And also not overthinking it. So if you're given some sort of an opportunity, you may get a phone call on like Thursday and they'll say, can I see you this Saturday? Are you going to be ready? And you might have to fly across the country. it looks like it's worth it. I think that sometimes you have to take risks, but weigh that out for yourself and figure out if you're comfortable with that type of kind of fly by the seat of your pants. There's some of this where you're going to have to just trust yourself, and that's what the Fool is about. The only thing that I would say this month when it comes to investments is be careful, because the Fool card is volatile. And with possibilities this month, one of the components is going to be risk. So look at how much risk you're willing to take. That's the only thing that's really going to hold you back. In your outcome, we have the Emperor in reverse. The Emperor card is, of course, about being able to control, steer things, and really feel like you have some sort of ownership over it. The reversal of this is saying, hey, this month you may have a hard time getting caught up on that. For some reason, it feels like some of you might have lost that focus, that control, and there'll be a little bit of catch-up this month because we have the Emperor and the Fool reverse touching each other. So the Fool reverse, as we said, is knowing that there's risk and you're going to have to be flexible. I did mention earlier that the Otter was all about being able to be playful and roll with the punches. So if you can try to combine those two, I think that's going to be great. But with the Emperor reverse, there can also be a feeling like, do I have enough experience? Am I ready for this? Are people going to listen to me? There may be a situation where you either have to answer to someone that has an age difference, maybe like, your manager's younger than you, or you're going to be trying to get people to listen to you and you might be younger than them, or there's some sort of an age gap coming through for key relationships. This could also extend to the love thing that I saw as well. So some of you may be interested in someone who is slightly older or younger than you, or just has a different maturity level, and that could make you feel uncomfortable because we have the Fool and the Emperor, youth and age, inexperience and experience stacked on one another. So there'll be some contrast between that this month. Again, if you don't make a big deal of it, others won't. If you do, then they're going to pick up on it. This is all about how you feel. You are a satellite, you are broadcasting, other people are picking up. So broadcast the idea that we'll be okay, we'll figure it out, I'm ready for this, this will be fun. Those are the sort of things that you want to put instead of, I don't know if I can do it, this is going to mess up, etc., etc. Stay in the high frequencies, quiet the other stuff, work on that in weeks 1 and 2, and the rest of the month should be fun. All right, let's expand your forecast now. We will begin with your health card. This is mind, body, and spirit. All right, this is reversed and it's filled with words, so I'm going to do my best to summarize it. The title of this is God Box, and it's really about letting go of fears. I'm going to read it though. It says, write any worries, concerns, or desires on a piece of paper that you put into a special container called a God Box as a way of letting go and allowing the divine to help you. That is a lot of text, so let me just summarize this in different terms. I really like the idea of letting things go, and I think what you could do is create an offering. I've talked about this before. The universe doesn't always need an offering of love. You can also release whatever it was that was painful or stressful or difficult. And what you could say is, I'm ready for an upgrade. This would be my version of this card. You could say, Dear God and universe, thank you so much for this experience. It was not what I expected, and I learned a great deal. I'm grateful for everything, even the pain, but I no longer want it in my life. Please take the pain. Thank you for it. I no longer need it. I'm ready for an upgrade. Help lift my energy. Help lift my frequency into a higher space. I offer this with love and gratitude, and I'm ready for something higher, brighter, and more fulfilling. That's my version of the God Box. Because yes, writing it down and putting it in a shoebox is one thing, but I think why not just engage with God itself and say, I love you. I didn't really love going through this, but wow, I learned a lot, and I understand why I did it, and I understand why I needed it, but I don't need it anymore. Take it back, please. And that's the kind of inverse of may I have some more from Oliver. It's like, I've had enough now. I'm ready now to move on. I'm ready to graduate. And we just came through graduation season. So consider yourself ready to walk down the aisle and throw your hat up in the air, and enough is enough, right? So that's my version of it. But there has to be a sense of gratitude that you experienced it and understanding that you called it in on some levels. Then and only then will God accept it and say, of course, I'll take that, and you're welcome. All right, so that's my kind of take on this. The main thing though is not to hold on to things and not to sort of like swallow this bitter pill of, why does this happen to me? I didn't deserve it. This other person's doing, no. Everything that's happened has happened for a reason and is a blessing. When you can see it as a blessing, then you can return it and again, ask for something higher and brighter. And with this being in the health, it's all about your spiritual side, because I said it's mind, body, and spirit. So once you release that, the stress is gonna go, and that feeling of tension that you might have in your shoulders or that lack of sleep that you're having will also improve, and you can get back to a healthier tomorrow. All right, we just looked at health. Let's take a look at wealth. Wealth is not just money, but it's also opportunities and self-worth. As we look at wealth, the message is about teamwork and community. It says collaborative dreaming, it's reversed. But the interesting thing here is when we look at the key community cards, they're all upright. We have the 4 of Wands here in the near future, and the crossing card 6 of Wands is neither upright nor reversed. It's just showing the presence of that. So I see a lot of community and public energy around you, a lot of opportunity for you to collaborate, but for some reason, some of you are pulling in a little bit, as we saw with the Lovers card reversed. So with that, I would say you could miss out on an opportunity if you are either too private or sort of working too much in a silo. This is a month to share, to work in a sort of bigger group and get the feedback that you need. Also the support. And if there's something that you've been working on, I feel like I said before, this is the month to try to get it out and distribute it, especially if it's ready. So try to have fun, try to be playful, and remember that that was the message that came through with the otter was, don't take yourself too seriously, be curious, be playful, and try to be adaptable. Collaboration is key for success this month, so the more you do it, the more you will excel. Let's look now at love and see what's coming through for relationships of all kinds this month. For love, don't underestimate your own worth. We have a wisdom card that was reversed, and the interesting thing is that echoes what we saw with the Emperor that was also reversed. This can mean that no matter where you are as far as age, experience, or sort of your plot in life, wherever you're at, this is saying that you are exactly where you need to be. The sooner you can realize that, the sooner that you can meet people that are there to support you, and you actually may be attracting someone that is older because your soul's age is a little bit older, your maturity is beyond your years, and the partnerships that you're bringing in this month, this could be work, this could be friends, they really are coming through with a much more mature energy. And I think that the interplay between youth and sort of experience and between that fresh perspective and the seasoned perspective is what's going to bring some beautiful interactions forth this month, not just in friendships, but also in work. So I think just embrace this interesting mix that I'm seeing, and also just recognize that you have a lot to offer. That came through loud and clear here in the Ace of Pentacles, so don't question it. Let's move along now and take a look at your Destiny card. Destiny is functioning as a GPS, but it's your chance to sort of see, do you like the path that you're on? And if so, what can you do to be a little bit more successful? So in the Destiny card, we have another card of authority, Mother. And it's interesting now because we have both the Mother and the Father. They were both reversed, which is showing this month you're kind of pulling away from familial ties, from anything in the past where you were told what to do or expected to perform a certain task. This is your chance to have a little bit of a breakthrough and kind of reclaim your independence. Some of you might actually be thinking that this is about your work situation, because when I look at the Empress, the Emperor, or the Mother and the Emperor here, and then that Fool card, this is usually about declaring independence. There could also be a relationship where you've decided to cut the ties, sign the papers, or even with a contract at work, you might be quitting. But there's so many other cards here showing new things moving in, that I'm excited for those of you that are ready to kind of do that. It's like you're running through the finish line and there's a whole new world waiting for you after that. So reclaim your independence, decide what you want. Don't worry about experience versus inexperience. Everyone has to start somewhere, and it's never too young or too old, or I should say you're never too young or too old to make those changes. So that's really what you can do this month, among other things. Again, there was love and expansion opportunities coming through, but as I look at the end here, it's really about allowing yourself to have the freedom to move in another direction. And that could be what I was seeing, reaching out of that box that had been created for you. Let's go ahead now and review everything that we talked about, and then I'll leave you with the closing word. The first message I received for you when I was channeling was to reach higher. Trust your heart and don't let someone else or something else hold you back. Remember this month, be playful, be curious, be fun, have a flexibility about yourself that really is also bringing in the energy of the Fool, which we see here. Otherwise, you're overthinking it and you're missing an opportunity because you're afraid of maybe being seen as irreverent or not responsible. You're supposed to be a little irresponsible this month. You're supposed to have a little bit of fun. The Otter is reminding you to do all of that. There was a lot of cards here at the center all around community. The Lovers, the Six of Wands, and the Four of Wands. The Lovers reversed is saying that you have to be really careful about how you feel about yourself. Your energy is going to directly pull in or push away opportunities in your life. Why not attract them rather than push them away? Because right on top of this, we have a community card, Six of Wands, and a love or partnership card, the Four of Wands. So this is all lining up for you. You don't want to miss out on that great opportunity in front of you. In the deep past, we have the Magician reverse reminding you that trying to clarify, not only with the Two of Wands, but also with the Magician, clarifying and reducing scope is going to be really important. When you focus, anything is possible. Clear your channel, your mind, your body, and your spirit through diet, through meditation, through exercise. Reduce any toxins as well in your life. Two of Wands, you need to know where you're headed so that the universe can help you, and you need to keep that vision really in front of you. So using something like a manifestation board or some sort of a journal where you're constantly looking at how you can get closer to that and taking notes of gratitude as you get further, that's going to be helpful. We noticed that here sleep can be an issue this month and stress. We talked about this idea of giving an offering to God and saying, I no longer need these things. You can take them now. I've learned my lessons. There has to be gratitude with that though. And when you use what we either saw on this card, the God box, or my version, the offering, then you can dissolve the negative energy or the stressful energy of the Nine of Swords. Four of Wands, new partnerships, new loves, new engagements coming through. Coupled up with the Ace of Pentacles, it's a yes. There's going to be good connections there. Three of Wands, this is also a lasting connection where good things are happening. Now for the tricky card, the Fool reversed and the Emperor reversed. To put it simply, you can't make everyone happy. In fact, you're probably doing something right if you disappoint a parent, some sort of a boss figure, someone in your life who didn't expect something of you. You may have to break free. You may have to go through that finish line on your own and start something on your own. There's a lot of cards of independence and freedom here towards the end of the month, so many of you are headed on that path, and that's a-okay if that's what you want. As we look here at, again, health, it's about releasing negativity and lower frequency thoughts, giving them as an offering to God and the universe and saying you're ready to replace them with something higher. With wealth, these kind of community and group activities are really important. It's all about partnership, but the key thing to remember is that they need to share your vision and your passion, because it does say collaborative dreaming. So if someone doesn't believe in you, then this is also a reason to move forward and move on away from them and maybe just on your own. As we look at love, wisdom is coming through. You know what to do. And you also need to trust that you have something to bring forth to a group that appreciates it. You have the same wisdom as your parents, as a superior, and even if you're younger or if you don't have the same levels of pay or title or the same sort of years under your belt, it doesn't matter. The soul's experience is coming through loud and clear this month. There's a lot of authority cards that are brought into check, the Mother and Father card, or the Emperor and the Empress. And with this, it means that you really don't need that. This is your time to stand out and to be your own person. Have fun this month, though. I want to bring it back to that. It's important for you to have fun so that people around you can feel the passion, so they can sense your collaborative dream that you might be bringing forth. Overall, it's a really exciting month for you. So this brings your monthly reading to a close, but hopefully you got exactly what you needed to navigate all of the challenges, all of the blessings that are coming through for you this month. If you ever want to talk a little bit more about something we covered today or something else that may be going on in your life, I would love to chat with you. The way that you can do that is by clicking on the first card in the video or the first link right below it, and this will take you to my booking site where you can check out rates and availability. If that makes sense for you, then I look forward to chatting with you. Another way that you can make a difference, and this was something that I alluded to way back at the beginning, is simply by making a contribution. I call this being a patron, and you can do either a one-time contribution or something that's ongoing. On my website, there's a lot of options, and you can take a look at that by clicking on the second card or second link. Just to give you a heads up how this makes a difference, not only does it help me buy cool new decks so that I can continue to evolve how I use my tools here, but it also gives me the physical time that I need to do the readings. Just like you, I have a job, I see clients, and I also write, and the only way that I can do these readings is through the aid of you, and if I get more contributions, I can set more time aside on my calendar and I can get it done faster, and I know that's a win-win for everybody. So I'd like to thank everybody in the past who has given a contribution. This reading was a direct result of your support, and if you'd like to make the next round possible, then click that second card, and I just want to say thank you in advance. The third and the final way that you can make a difference doesn't involve any money, it really just involves a couple of clicks. So if you really enjoyed this video, first and foremost, please subscribe to the channel and like the video, and you can leave a comment below too, letting me know what really moved you as you watched this. After that, I would love for you to click on the third card and the third link. This will take you to a page on my site where you can join me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can sign up for my newsletter as well. And if you really want to make a difference, you can share something that you saw here on your social media feed. By sharing this video, you'll be really helping me reach more people, and that's my goal. I want to help people awaken, I want to create conversations about spirituality, and I want to give people the tools that they need to really travel through this world successfully. So when you share it, you do that for me, and I just want to say thank you. All right, let's leave you now with the closing word this month. As I said earlier, I want to help every sign with a breakthrough. For you, I could see that there was this tension or desire to achieve, to try to get through some sort of a barrier. I can see as I look at this that there is some parental or authoritative energy around you that has somehow limited you. Have fun this month, work with a team around you, and realize that this team energy could lift you up. Because of your interactions with others, people will notice you. They're going to notice you one way or another. So I want you to try to get over any sort of internal mechanism that's shutting you down or making you feel shy and think, you know what, I earned this opportunity this month. I'm ready to shine. They're not going to look at me and think I don't know what I'm doing. They're going to look at me and think that's the one I want on my team. And this is what you can do this month. Really feel the worth that I see, that the cards see, and the cards don't lie, by the way. So you have something that's worth investing in this month. Own that, okay? Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I really hope it helped shift you. That ownership and that self-confidence is vital, and I want you to feel it this month, okay? You have a lot of choices here on YouTube, so it was an honor for me to spend this last 40 minutes or so with you. I wish you the best now and always. Take care of yourself and make it a good month, okay?